Well, what drives engagement in a survey is determining what the best method is to capture the data based on the targeted group that you're trying to survey. Every targeted group reacts a little differently to the method that you use to try to capture that data. So it's really important to understand the differences within each group, like a younger demographics versus an older demographic, healthcare versus a corporate, survey, employee-based surveys based on, or student surveys are very different in nature, and they require different methods of deliveries and different methods of ensuring and planning of trying to capture that data. The difference between sending a survey to a student and one to an employee is more on the delivery, not so much the question set, because question sets are specific to trying to gather that specific data from a specific targeted group. So those questions will likely be appropriate for the end user. But the delivery method, if you're sending a survey to an employee base and your employee base has access to PCs, or there's a lot of field employees that don't have access to PCs, or there is a specific targeted information that it's required that you can limit the question set to a few questions. These are all considerations that need to be looked at when you're doing a survey, and so that's where the differences come into play, because a student survey is usually administered. It's an administered process. You have someone administering that survey, or an employee survey is more voluntary. And so you have to take a different approach to encourage participation. The best method to use on a program to be cost effective really is determined by the type of data that you're going to receive and what is that value of that data. Because if you're just looking to do a pulse survey and kind of understand where the perception is on a specific product, or perception is on an employee survey or something to that nature, that can be done fairly inexpensive and cost effective. But if the data that you're seeking to retrieve has value and decision making for the organization that results into either profit or an approach on how to administer a specific program, the value in that type of a program needs to be weighed against the cost of administering it. So in cases like that, you have to take a look at the different methods of delivery of those type of programs and the cost involved with that, with those programs, and the options that go along with that, and will it result in the desired effect or information to drive effective decision making.